Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha, and we're the Pattern Queens. And welcome to Stitch with Us, episode 55. Today is Sunday, May the 11th, and it's Mother's Day.
Yay!
And this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and silliness and ramblings and lots of trying to remember who does what when we do a different kind of video.
That's okay. So today is Mother's Day, and we always work on the same thing on Mother's Day. So this year we are going to continue working on Bluegrass from Ink Circles, this beautiful one. And I think we're both doing kind of whatever we feel like. So you want to hold ours up? I start top left, Laura starts bottom right.
Yes, so here's mine.
And here's mine. They look pretty similar because it's a repeating pattern, just upside down.
Yeah, if I turn
Uh,
mine around,
There you
I can
go.
kind of
See
get
there,
there.
it's kind of yeah. Mine is on a 32 count solo die from Silkweaver. And then I'm using Lagoon from Gentle Art as my floss.
Awesome. Mine is on a 32 count limited edition from Color and Cotton, and I'm using Color and Cotton Hellebore
Mm,
as my
so
floss.
pretty. So
So.
pretty.
And I have another two strands pulled out. That's what my problem is here.
We
Not that
have to
I'm
get
going to get
prepared.
to it. Yeah. I'm going to turn my light on. And I am wearing my Mother's Day present that I got in like January because Katie
Ooh,
found this sweater and thought it was me and said, "Here, I'm going to give you your Mother's Day present early so you can enjoy it all winter."
nice. I am wearing a shirt and a pair of pants that are just comfortable and that I've had since before my boys were born. So, what's new with you, Laura?
Well, I've still been testing at school and I've had a finish both weeks, which is pretty exciting. Uh,
Mhm.
because we can't have any technology. I take a paper pattern with me and I wisely chose things that were close enough for me to get a finish.
Awesome.
And I have one more week of testing. We're still waiting to hear if the state is going to forgive the extra snow days.
Hmm.
So, and Katie has been gardening like a mad woman, and it's looking really good out there. It's so fun to see all of her hard work
Hmm.
paying off for her, and she's really excited about it. I think her goal is to hardscape our whole backyard.
Ooh, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, no mowing out there. And really, we're almost to the end of the school year. I'm so excited for that. I'm ready for the summer adventures.
Right, right. I bet you're really excited about that.
It's always fun.
Yeah, that must be like one of the fun things about still working in education is to still look forward to that summer vacation feeling.
Oh, the other thing you just made me think. This is about the second year that I have had kids be old enough to graduate high school.
Oh, fun.
And in our district, um, they will go around and they pick up the seniors um, on buses and take them in groups to the elementary schools that they went to. And they
Oh,
get
that's
to
nice.
do what we call a senior walk where they get to go back through and see their school and see all their teachers. And it's just really fun. And this year, the fun thing for me was that one of the boys spotted me and he came running up and grabbed me and he's like, "Miss Landis." And I'm like, "Oh, somebody remembered me." I haven't really had that. Uh,
Right.
so it was really fun. And we go out front and take a picture of any of the teachers who were here when the kids were at the school
Hmm.
and all of the seniors. So it's just kind of a fun big thing.
That's a
And they
fun
make sure that
tradition.
the seniors have access to it if they want.
That's a
So,
really fun tradition. That would be really cool.
and it is fun to see them come through the halls. They don't expect it, but they get really emotional.
Yeah, I bet you would.
So that
Well,
was a
because I,
long what's new with me.
yeah, well, I'm just thinking that like whenever like say you're a kindergartner or whatever, you'd be like, that's the biggest person I can imagine. Like I can't even
Yes.
imagine going through there, and then you go that you get to go through there someday. I'm thinking about my boy who's about to start kindergarten, and that would be like,
It's so funny because, like we're looking at the kids coming through and and we always have somebody who is really on it, and they will find a picture from like fourth or fifth grade and post it so that
hmm.
we can all kind of remember who was
Oh, sh
in the classes. And right now it's falling to the fourth grade teachers because we don't have a fifth grade teacher who has been here the whole time.
mm,
So, we were just looking at the pictures trying to figure out who these kids were.
right,
The little scrawny kid who's now this great big linebacker looking kid.
right, right.
What else is new with you?
Well, I've kind of celebrated my weekend in reverse because of the work schedules in my house. I got to celebrate Mother's Day yesterday.
Oh,
So
fun.
we just told James that Mother's Day was yesterday, but he kept calling it Valentine's Day.
That must be because you're his sweetheart.
Must be. I'll take that. Um, but my my husband made brunch for me, which was, you know how sometimes you try really, really hard to do something for someone and everything goes wrong?
Yes.
He was having one of those days yesterday,
Oh,
but it was
no.
delicious. It was a delicious breakfast. It wasn't the breakfast he intended, but it was a really good breakfast. And and then we I had asked James what my favorite thing to do with him is. And of course he said, go to a big playground. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that is my favorite thing to do with you. And so we went to the park and we went to a park that had a pretty good walking trail. So I walked a lot with Owen. He kind of took a nap in the stroller while I walked along and then James and I walked some on the path too and had races. And he kept giving himself pretty big head starts. So I was very successful in winning the races. I won a couple of them, but not very many.
That's
Um,
one of the fun things that I do, especially with kindergartners when I have recess. I will use my Apple Watch and get my timer ready, and I will time them running to the fence and back, and I'll tell them how fast they were. So,
oh, fun. There's nothing more fun than that whenever you're a kid.
yeah, that's kind of that perfect age. And yeah.
Hmm. Um, we so the park we went to, one of I think it's Mid-Continent Library here in Kansas City, they sponsor a story path. So there are all these different podiums and each one has a different like page from a book.
Oh,
And so we like to walk on that one and read whatever book's there. And the book this time was called Go Cars Go. I can't remember who
uh,
it's. And so each page ended with the sentence Go Cars Go. So we had Timothy read it, and then whenever he said Go Cars Go, we would race to the next podium. So
that's fun.
it
Is
was
it a
pretty.
Dr. Seuss?
No, it's a different one, but I can't remember who wrote it. I'd never read it before. I'd have to look it up.
Um,
Um,
I didn't think that Katie and I were crazy and got in the car yesterday and drove to Osceola Cheese.
Oh, fun.
It's almost a 2 hour drive, you guys, one
Wow.
way. And we
Yeah.
drove just because Osceola Cheese is awesome.
Yes,
And
definitely.
um, we picked out a bunch of things. The thing that happened this week is that our contractor came upstairs and ripped everything out of the kitchen.
Mm,
So we haven't had a kitchen all week. We had planned, he had told us when he was going to start. And then, of course, it rained on the day that
mhm.
he was going to start. But so we're having to be creative with meals. And I had been showing Katie that what kept popping up for me was a company that does charcuterie boards.
Oh, yeah.
And they were doing a special one for Mother's Day. And I'm like, look at this, look at this. And I think she thought that I wanted her to order one. And no, I was just saying, we should do this.
Hmm.
So we drove to Osceola Cheese, bought a bunch of cheese out there, stopped at Sprouts on the way back, and bought a few more things to add with it.
Hmm.
And for dinner last night, we had charcuterie.
Oh, see, that was the plan of what we were supposed to have for dinner last night. We were out and about, and I had asked James what sort of restaurant he thought was my favorite,
Chips
and
and
he goes,
salsa.
"Dips and Salsa restaurant," which is true. That's what he calls Mexican restaurants or any restaurant that brings chips and salsa to your table. And it's true. I love going to Mexican restaurants um and I was like, "Why do you think that is my favorite restaurant to go to?" And because I've trained him well, he goes, "Because you don't have to wait for food." Which is why we go to a lot of chips and salsa restaurants. Not only do I like it, but whenever you have uh well, he's not really a toddler anymore, but like just the whole time that we've been taking him to restaurants, we're like, it's just easier if you take him someplace where you get food immediately. Uh, and so we ended up going to a Mexican restaurant instead of having cheese and crackers and such. Kind of what I had requested, but sometimes you bend to the whims of uh, who you're with.
We would have loved to go to a Mexican restaurant on Cinco de Mayo, but even the day before, we could not make reservations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy. So we instead went to Louis.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
where we
fun.
stopped with you on the way back
Hmm.
from Des Moines or from you know,
Yes. Well,
Stitch Me.
you stitch me.
It's
Mhm.
in Des Moines, so we're in the Des Moines area. But there's one here in the Kansas City area on the Kansas side. And I got to go have my champagne fish and chips. They do gluten-free fish and chips, and it is just my favorite thing. So
Fun.
we decided we would do our Cinco de Mayo on a different day.
Uh, he see on Cinco de Mayo, my boys' school had um a lunch where you could come and eat with your kid. So we went and we ate with James. We could have pulled Owen out of his class, but Owen's kind of at the stage where if he sees me, then uh
He
it's a
thinks
little bit
it's time,
harder.
right?
Yeah. So so we just went, Owen will get his time. So we went and ate with James. So that was what our Cinco de Mayo was eating uh nachos and tostadas at daycare with our boy.
Well, you can tell I'm in a different place and I am packed in here because we have had to shift things from all over the house to different places so that they are out of the pathway for things to get into our kitchen.
Hmm.
But we're very excited. And Katie sent me a picture of the room of the kitchen demoed. I had asked her, hey, when he's doing the floor, see if you can find out what the original um, flooring was in there, because our
Mhm.
house was built in the late 50s, early 60s, and I was just curious.
Right.
And it was really cute. It's kind of a peachy brown base, and then it has like mica speckles through it, and then colored chips all over it.
Oh, cool. That sounds
So, yeah.
that
I
sounds
told,
fun.
yeah, I told Katie, I said, I would enjoy that now. That was actually kind of cute. Let me tell you what we've chosen, we're going to be very, very happy with,
Mm,
but
cool.
was kind of fun.
So, do you have any fun plans for today to go out and celebrate?
Um, I actually think I'm not sure, but I actually think that Katie and I may be going shopping for a couple of things for the kitchen
Oh, fun.
because they'll have to be installed. But really, I would like to just sit and stitch. That's my
Hmm.
thing. We did not plan a BNS chat for today.
Oh,
It's the first time we haven't done that in a few years, but it just was not we feel like with all of the stuff going on in the house, we can't sit together for one thing,
right.
and it's just a little more difficult to be able to host together. So I wouldn't mind just getting out of the house. And I think we're going to have what hit me while we were out and getting this stuff for the charcuterie is that I would really like to have this. Um, it's a chicken, a grilled chicken salad with balsamic and goat. We're supposed to have goat cheese. I don't think we bought that. And
Mm.
candy pecans. So just this yummy salad that we like, and strawberries.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Very springy, summery.
Hmm.
Okay. I dropped my little marker. Um, okay, I did that one. I dropped my little marker last night, the thing I mark off my stitches with,
Yeah.
having to try and sit here and do it with my finger. And I really need to catch up what I've done because
Oh,
I do not want to do things more than once.
right, right. So I've been using these that we got in the what did we get in the nice list box.
Uh-huh.
I love them.
Awesome. Okay.
I think that my family may be going past Osceola cheese at some point in the next week, so maybe I need to look out for that too.
Oh, there you go. It was not that bad a drive, and really it was a pretty day, and we had decided we were doing it. So we just enjoyed hanging out and
Hmm.
having the drive. I stitched in the car on the way there and the way back.
Sure. That sounds fun. I have a work conference
Oh,
this week
yeah.
that might take me down toward that way. So I'm not really sure exactly the how we're gonna go. So, but if that is on our way, we may have to stop because I enjoy that place too.
It is so fun. They don't do Now, I heard somebody walking around saying, "I have cheese samples," but you used to be able to just go get samples for yourself,
Hmm.
and they don't do it that way anymore,
Yeah,
which I mean that makes sense to me.
right. That was a COVID thing, I think, that they just kept, which makes sense because you don't know. If you don't know if so, we live in Missouri. There's a place called Osceola Cheese in Osceola, Missouri, and they do a whole bunch of different cheddar cheeses, basically. A lot of different
Ooh, they
things.
do cheddar and Swiss and
Oh, yeah.
uh Edam and Gouda, and they even do cheese fudge.
Yeah, which is interesting. I got talked into getting that one time whenever I was with you guys, and it was really good.
It's not something I would want all the time because boy is it rich,
Hmm.
but it's kind of fun to try for sure.
Yeah. So they used to have it to where they had samples of just about every kind of cheese just sitting out in
Yeah.
the cheese case.
In
And
little Tupperware containers, and they
Mhm.
had toothpicks.
And which was nice. You got to try all of your cheese, but it's definitely like a roadside stop sort of thing. And there were a lot of kids who were just like putting their mitts in the cheese trying it. So,
Yeah. It's fun because they will do they'll do a bacon horseradish cheddar, and they'll do lots of smoked. They have a whole case that is like smoked versions of the cheeses.
hmm.
And it's I don't know, it's just kind of a fun different place. I'm sure everybody has a creamery or something similar close by, but this is in the small town where the Boy Scout camp is. And I'm sure that it has, I mean, it's been there forever. I'm
Hmm.
sure that it has done fine because so many people pass through there on their way to scout camp.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it.
And it's, I mean, it's grown over the years. It seriously used to be a little shack on the side of the road. And now it's a pretty good sized store and it has other things in there. We bought some jellies. So part of our charcuterie, we had some elderberry jelly and some
Mm.
pear jelly. And I
Ooh,
put those on with the meat and the cheese on the crackers.
nice.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Hmm.
And they have a whole case of um, cooled beverages. And one of the fun things, they always have a sarsaparilla that you can get, and lots of um, fun root beers and things. Just a little more artisan than mainline.
Yeah. And then they have like a whole wine section that you can
Yes.
with samples, which I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. There's not a whole lot around here. Uh, and then just like a fun gifts and stuff. Whenever we took a trip to Branson, we passed by it and uh, we got a whole bunch of cheese
Yeah.
and wine and stuff for the hotel room. So,
Um, Katie thinks they have the best string cheese.
oh, yeah, their string cheese is pretty good.
So she bought a couple of packages because we all like it.
Hmm.
And also, everything there is sold by weight.
Hmm. Uh, they also have some cheese that is too hot for me,
Really?
which is saying something. I got some once and I was like, all right,
You have
it's going to
met
be
your
a struggle.
match, huh?
It's going to be a struggle to finish this cheese, and I don't want to waste it, but it's going to be a struggle to finish it.
That's when you have to make a sandwich or something, right?
It was pretty intense. So, dragon's breath cheese, if you know, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Because I was like, I'll have the hot cheese because I love spicy things,
Oh,
especially cheese. And then I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Keisha is our friend who gets the weird call that says, "Would you like some soup? I made soup." This is Katie. I made soup and it's too hot for us.
I'm like, absolutely, bring me that soup. I will eat it.
And it got hotter every day as you ate the leftovers, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And it ended up being almost too hot by the time I got to the end of it. Yeah, no, I'm put hot sauce on things and uh it was really bad, to bring it back to Mother's Day. Did you think you'd be hearing a Mother's Day chat about cheese? Neither did we. Go this way. Whenever I was pregnant with James, like you couldn't get things spicy enough for me. I probably needed the dragon's breath cheese at that time because I craved it and I had such bad heartburn anyway without eating spicy things that I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna eat as spicy a thing as I can handle. I didn't have that with Owen, but I just like spicy things in general, so I ate a bunch of spicy things. So now I have boys who, whenever we go to the chips and salsa restaurant, they will eat the salsa. Owen was just like putting chips into the salsa yesterday and then like licking it off the chip and putting it back and then licking it off the chip and we're like, well, I guess you're okay. And then after a little bit, he would like look at us like we had done something terrible to him. And we're like,
Oh no.
okay, let's just move this away from you.
Katie had made that soup and it was a curry soup.
Hmm.
And she followed the recipe, but of course it was made for people who eat curry soup. So it was just really, really, really hot. And and I didn't even taste it. It smelled fabulous. But I know that they were trying to taste it, and I mean, like they would take a bite and be like,
It was delicious.
you're probably like, yeah, it wasn't that hot.
I mean, my husband, who doesn't have as high of a spice tolerance as I do, was like, "Oh yeah, this is probably at the top of what I would want to eat."
The great thing about it is that, unbeknownst to us, it was a night when Keisha had to work late, which she does regularly monthly. We didn't
Mhm.
know that. And so we called her when she was heading home, and she's like, well, sure. And now I don't have to fix dinner. I don't have to pick it up. I just
Yeah.
have to go. And we're like, we will bring it.
Yeah, you guys really did call me whenever I was less than 5 minutes from my house that night.
It was so perfect. I just couldn't believe it's like it was just meant to be.
It was meant to be my soup.
So Katie is now, she is not afraid to make anything because, if it's too hot, we'll just call Keisha.
It's right. It won't go to waste.
And she did ask me, would it be weird if we offered this to Keisha? And I said, no, really, she'd probably just be happy that after work she didn't have to make something.
Right.
And yeah, then when we called and Katie's like, she's just now getting home. And I looked at the time and I'm like, it's council night.
Yeah.
So
No, it's never weird to give me soup. I mean, maybe it would if I didn't know you, I'd probably be like, I don't know about you giving me soup. But if I know you, then give me soup.
it
I've
just it's just the funniest thing though, yes, we're friends, but it is kind of like, hello, can we bring you the food that we don't want?
yes, that's true. But I'm also like, I don't want food to go to waste. And I think it's funny because this has happened to me at work too. I have a reputation as the person who eats spicy things. So I had a coworker who bought um, this just like lovely, like pickled onion thing, and it was too hot for her family. And she brought it to work and she's like, hey, is this weird? I bought this and it's my family is not going to eat it and I don't want it to go to waste. Would you like it? And I open it and because I like pickled onions on stuff and I open it and I can just smell it and I'm like, "Ooh, this might be too hot for me, but I will take it from you. Thank you."
I like pickled onions. I don't want them to be hot, but yes, I
Mhm.
love pickled onions on things. I don't like pickles. Katie
That's
and I
strange.
were having a discussion because in our garden, she is growing cucumbers. For me, I have like the the English cucumbers is what we settled on. And
Mm-hmm.
then she bought some dill pickle cucumbers for herself.
Mm,
And I said something to her about, oh hey, my mom did kind of a pickling for cucumbers when I was growing up that I really liked. And she just did cucumbers and vinegar and salt water.
mm-hmm.
And then she would put onions in with it. And that's a flavor that I really liked. And
Yeah,
Kay's
my
like,
grandma did
oh,
this.
yeah, we can try that. We can try that. She was talking about making pickles. And I'm like, no, no, I don't want to leave it and make pickles.
Right. No, you want to set it because my grandma did the same thing. And it was like set it in the fridge for a night or so, and then you take them out.
Yeah, we would go pick the stuff out of the garden and mom would do it. I liked it on the day because I don't like it to get too pickly.
Hmm.
But yeah, I told Kate we're gonna have to look up and kind of get some measurements to start with, and then you really just tweak it to make it what you like.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma did the same thing. I can even remember the bowl that she would use to make that pickle. She had like a specific bowl that she put it in.
Isn't that funny how you have memories tied to things like that?
It really is. It was kind of a similar thing. So my husband wanted to get me a special dessert yesterday for Mother's Day. And it was very funny because he picked it up yesterday whenever we were with him. And I guess he had just been like watching the time while we were at the park and didn't want to rush us, but the bakery closed at a certain time and he was really
Oh,
afraid that they were going to be sold out. And uh, so as soon as we leave the park, he's like, okay, we can't stop anywhere. I've got to go to this bakery. And he bought a pineapple upside down cake for me.
ooh, yum.
And pineapple upside down cake is my favorite kind of cake. And um, I used to ask my grandma to make it for me for my birthday every year. So good memories tied to pineapple upside down cake.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to be a really good baker for that because you have to get it to the perfect shade of brown to have
Hmm.
that. Oh, and the
Yeah.
pineapple then will help caramelize the bottom. And yes. And then
Yes.
you flip that out. Mm.
Just the brown sugar taste, it's just nothing better than a good pineapple upside down cake. It's my favorite.
My birthday cake was always, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I am now.
Yeah.
My birthday cake was always angel food.
Mm.
And that's one that I just dearly love. And mom knew that I didn't like strawberries, but I liked a strawberry sauce.
Oh,
So
okay.
she would make sure I didn't, I don't know if she pureed the strawberries or what. If I didn't have to chew them, it was fine.
Hmm.
And she would put a strawberry glaze over the top of my angel food cake.
Oh.
That was just, yeah.
Hmm.
We did have last night black grapes and red grapes along with our charcuterie, and that was so good. I
Ooh.
like a little fruit with my cheese, a little bit of something sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like what I would refer to as probably dessert for the evening was jalapeno pepper jelly over cream cheese.
I love that.
And we got that from Osceola.
Hmm.
It was so good. It definitely had a little bite. You would probably like something a little hotter, but it
Hmm.
had some sweet with it. So it was seriously like eating dessert
Yeah.
cream
No,
cheese.
I love that. Um, we had I whenever I have a charcuterie board, I really like to have honey with things.
Oh, I
That's
could
one of
see
my,
that.
yeah. Honey's good. I like a raspberry jam too, sometimes with things.
We picked up elderberry because we were talking about different jellies with our friends the other night. And one
Hmm.
of our friends said that she really likes elderberry jelly.
Mm,
And Katie and I are like, I don't think I've had that. So we looked, and yes, they had that. And that was pretty good. It was maybe not what I would choose first.
right.
I would go back and buy a huge jar of the pear jelly because
Oh, it's good.
darn, it was good. Yeah, if you go through there, you just buy me a big jar of their pear jelly,
Your pear
and
jelly.
I'll send you a picture of the label and I'll just buy it from you.
Okay, sounds good. If we go through there, I'll get it.
Darn, it was good.
Um,
We just bought smallish jars because we bought like a pint jar uh,
sure. Well,
to
and you don't
try
want to,
things.
yeah, you don't want to buy too big a thing. If you end up not liking it, you
Yes.
don't want to waste.
Katie loves apple butter, and that's not really a me thing,
Hmm.
but they did have that there. And while I was looking, they also had plum butter.
Oh, interesting.
Does that sound fabulous? So I bought a jar of that.
I love plums. You'll have to let me know how that is.
I'm telling you, we were just there to have fun and pick up all those kinds of things, and it was just a great fun time.
Well, so if you're still with us and stitching, let us put in the comments what are your favorite like fun things to have on like a cheese and meat sort of situation? Like
And
what do you have
and you
too?
can also say, have we just made you nuts and made you starve during this chat today?
We're only talking about food.
So I went running around this morning and picked up food. It was quite the adventure to get food for Katie and Bree. And I thought, oh, this will just be nice. And I want coffee. And if I take Bree with me, then I get a discount on my coffee. And look, they wrote Happy Mother's Day for me.
Oh, fun.
They usually write something about Amber's mother on it,
Mm.
but it was just funny because I'm doing all this and really I didn't get any food out of this. So I am hungry.
Cool. And I haven't eaten breakfast yet today,
Oh,
so
I may be convincing Katie that what we should do is go get smoothies and then go um look for our stuff that we need to at the hardware store.
you're convincing me that I need to go eat cheese out of my fridge.
Katie found a cheese there. Katie does not like cheddar cheese. Let me say that. But she found a cheese there that is a chicken soup Gouda.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
And
that.
I tasted it. She was like, do you want some of this? I'm like, give me a slice. Um, so it absolutely tasted like all of the chicken soup flavors.
Oh, does it like have like bouillon in it or something?
I don't know, but it definitely has that chicken broth flavor. It was so good.
That's interesting. Yeah, they have like fun flavors there. And
Mm.
that's one of the sad things about them taking away the samples, like, is you
Yes.
have such strange stuff that you're like, I just want to kind of try it before I commit to a whole hunk of this.
Well, and like we didn't, I heard the lady saying, I have cheese samples, and we didn't go check with her because who knows, she probably
Right.
would have opened anything we wanted to try, but we pretty well know walking up and down there what we want to try.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I usually get like horseradishy stuff whenever I'm there.
which that would have been good, like with some rare roast beef.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. I love horseradish on my rare roast beef.
Oh yeah. I just like horseradish. I'm one of
The
those.
gardening thing has been fun because we have been to different nurseries around.
Hmm.
You could spend a fortune if you just let yourself go because it's so fun to go and see all the beautiful things. And
Hmm.
I would like to get um a whirly gig, which we're finding out that really we should get one because they help chase away pests. It's
Oh,
a
sure.
movement. And I would like to get some chimes to go out there.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. We have a fun little pinwheel that lives in our yard, that's lived in our yard for probably 3 years now at
It's
this
been
time.
a while because didn't it come from school?
No, it came from Dollar Tree. We spent
Oh,
$1. I think it was still whenever before they raised their prices. We spent $1 on this rainbow pinwheel that we put next to our door. Um, and James, he doesn't call it this anymore because he's a bigger boy, but he used to call it his special flower. And so we would look at it every time we went to school, and we have had some pretty substantial storms since we've got that pinwheel, and nothing has taken it down. Dollar Tree pinwheels.
so funny. Okay, I am at the end of this piece of floss, so I'm gonna have to
Okay.
reload.
Okay. Or we've been going
Unless
for about a half hour. Do you wanna stop? You got a good stopping place?
I marked everything off. I've hit 100 stitches, so
Oh, well, then I'll have to catch up to you after we get done filming because we were talking. I think last year, I consciously caught up to where Laura was so that because the last time we did uh, a Mother's Day piece, we ended on the same day.
Yes.
So I've
And
been trying to keep up
and
with that.
I had to help Keisha remember throughout the year that she needed
Mhm.
to put some stitches in because I would just get going and I would like keep stitching during the day that
Yeah,
worked
Keisha,
on
work
it.
on it.
And I got way ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I really liked working on that piece. So you
I
want to?
am going to thread.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Okay, that's where the mouse was. Oh,
Oh,
and I never
the
changed my
technology.
name today either. I said I'm
That's
going
okay.
to go ahead and load my floss and get it in there so that I know where I am.
All right.
So
That
if you want
sounds
to talk for like 5 more minutes, then we
Yeah,
do
sure.
it.
Let's do it. So do you have any favorite Mother's Day memories, either your kids celebrating you or you celebrating your mom?
Um, really, I just think that growing up, we always would get up and go to church, and I loved that we would always have a special dress, which usually my mom would have sewn for us. So, she just wanted us to look pretty on her day too.
Yeah.
But all the things that, kids try and be so sneaky and
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
yeah.
enjoy, I get a whole different perspective on it now too, being at school because I get to see how excited the kids are. And there is not a kid who is taking stuff home who can hold on to it until Sunday. They get to
Mm-hmm.
the car. I do car rider in the morning and the afternoon. They get to the car in the afternoon and they're like, Happy Mother's Day! And they're giving mom the Mother's
Uh-huh.
Day stuff the minute they hit the car. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that cracks me up.
Yeah,
But
that happens with
with my kids, I feel like Katie is very much a planner, and I feel like gift giving is kind of her love language, and she's always thoughtful about what she comes up with. And so it's fun to see. And for me, Katie is funny too because it's hard for her to wait to give me what she has for me.
hmm
But I like to see, I mean, as evidenced by the sweater. But um but I like to see what they come up with. And usually there is a time element, like a spending time element that goes with our day.
hmm
And I love that. And that's part of why we did chats on Mother's Day was just because she knows that for me, the idea that I would get to sit and relax and cross stitch for the day is just fun. And to put it out there and have all of these people that we've come to know and love is just a fun thing. I'll kind of
hmm
miss that today.
Yeah. Uh my speaking of just like trying to keep things secret, I knew exactly what Timothy, well, I knew the plan of what Timothy was going to make for brunch yesterday. Um, but he had told James that he was making a breakfast and that I couldn't come into the kitchen. So James decided that that meant it was a secret. And
Oh,
so he was like, "Don't go in the kitchen. It's going to be a surprise." And so then I would say, "Oh, are we going to have this for breakfast?" And knowing that we weren't, and he would just like giggle and say, "No." Um, so he just had a fun time with pretending that, you know, or well, he thought that it was a great big surprise. Um, and then yeah, I got all of the things from school. E Owen's class and James's class both made special things. One of the thing I got from James was this little flower pot that he painted ladybugs on, and it has a flower in it that I'll try not to kill.
cute.
I killed last year's flower, and he has not forgotten it. And and he was very funny because they wrapped them, and they had like colored tissue paper that they used to wrap it. And he's like, "Mom, I'm so sorry they didn't have green because green is my favorite color." And he's like, "So I had to use blue. Is blue also your favorite color?" Like, it's not, but it's your favorite color and it's from you, so that makes it special. But he was just very worried that they didn't have my favorite color tissue paper.
Um, one of the kids, and I'm trying to think if it was Katie or Bree, they colored a teapot. And like
Mm.
this thing was about this big. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
serious coloring for the kids. And then you cut the lid off of
Hmm.
it. And then what they did is they taped a tea bag to the back, still in its
Oh,
pocket, so
uh,
that, and then it was laid out so that when it got there, I could lift the lid and the tea
hmm.
bag would come up out of it. I never
Oh,
used the tea bag
well,
because
yeah.
it was just so cute. How could I do
Sure.
that? But
Yeah, that's
you made
so
me
fun.
think about that when you said James colored and did the flower thing for you.
Hmm. Well, then I got a message from Owen's teacher, like talking about how she really hoped that I liked my gift. And uh, I was like, "Oh, well, this must be like a lot of work because we have this like group chat for all of the moms in or well, moms and dads in the group. And usually if they have something big to say to everybody, they just send it in there. But she like individually, I guess, messaged the moms in the
Oh,
group to be like, "I hope that you like this. We worked really hard." And it is a canvas bag that has like handprints as the petal of flowers.
no.
And it's the most adorable thing. And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if I can use this canvas bag because I never want to mess it up." So it was really nice. And she wrote like a heartfelt letter, I guess, to each of the moms to
Nice.
like, about just like, because whenever you send your baby to someone, it's kind of a special thing. And I in the message after she had told us about the gift or told me about the gift she made that Owen made, I was like, "Thank you so much for all you do to help um my son, grow and learn." Because I feel like if you do send your kid to daycare,
Hmm.
or to school, there are other people influencing those little lives all the time, sometimes for the majority of their awake hours, and those people should be acknowledged too, because they
Well, if
help
it
shape
helps you at
future
all, I
people.
know that you said you're kind of struggling a little with school. We think they're all our babies. So,
Mhm.
I just have a whole slew of babies.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That's good to know because yeah, I'm a still a little bit just like, a little in denial that my kid's going to kindergarten soon. Uh,
okay, I came to a good spot.
all right.
I did 126 stitches because, of course, I anchored it and we were still talking, so I kept going.
Mhm.
But that's where I am.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
looking so pretty filled out in there, isn't it?
It is. It's
And these
really.
little heart, I would call these hearts.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I like the hearts.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I'm just really, really liking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
this is
going
a
to
really
take
pretty.
us like 50 years to get
That's
this.
okay.
No,
That's
we're
okay.
at 16. Okay, Keisha will be at the same place I am. We are
Uh-huh.
at 16.79%.
Ooh, okay. So,
342 out of two. Yeah, you cannot do the same number of stitches I did today
okay, okay. I will
because you were
only get up
already
to
a stitch ahead.
I will only get to 342.
So it's 342 out of 2037. You show where you are, and then
Okay.
unless you're not ready.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'll show where I am. So here's where I am. Uh,
Cool.
so it really is about the same. You're just further on your flower, and then you have another start to the another flower over there.
And
So,
okay, so Keisha was talking about that she's kind of going up and down,
mhm.
and I think I'm just like going around and around and
Well,
doing.
it depends on which one I'm working on. I'm trying to go with like what way I think things are facing, but I don't know that it really matters.
Okay, you made me realize that right here, because it's right side up on yours,
Uh-huh.
right here, there's another little heart.
Yeah, it does look like a heart, doesn't it? There's a
That's
lot of
so
little hearts.
fun.
So
Okay.
I am at 301 stitches right now. So I
Okay,
did
so you have a few,
84. Yeah,
41.
I did 84 sitting here. So I'll catch up.
Yeah. Also, I would like to say that Keisha and I each have a printed copy of this because we decided that waiting year to year and not continuing to stitch on this, it would be
Mhm.
easier to buy it as a PDF and be able to mark it off. It would have been difficult to keep this year to year and do it, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so too.
So we each have a paper copy. And if you are interested in a paper copy, you just need to tell us. Um, we don't want you to use giveaway or anything like that. We need you to be at least 18. And really, why don't you just tell us what your favorite springtime flower is?
Ooh, yes, yes. What's your favorite springtime flower?
I love irises, and this is about the time for peonies to be out. How do you
Yeah.
say that? Peonies, pennies,
I say peonies.
or peonies? There you go.
I
Um,
say peonies. Yeah.
and my mom used to call them Memorial Day flowers because
Mm.
that's about the time they bloom. But irises, I love like the purples because that's my favorite
Oh,
color.
yeah. Sure.
Lilac bush.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Well, the house that I lived in growing up had a lilac bush, and I would walk past it to get to like to go to my house every day, and I just loved walking past it. It was one of my favorite things. My favorite flower is no longer in season. I really, really like daffodils. It's my favorite flower. So,
And it's funny how short the season is on some of the things. So,
yeah, definitely.
I have lots of memories about flowers and things because my mom and my brother were both pretty good prolific growers.
Mm,
And outside our house, my mom had a blaze rose bush. So that's a real
mm,
old-fashioned rose bush, and it's one that has lots of roses all over it.
mm.
Excuse me. And they're like a deep red, so pretty. Red
Oh.
was her favorite flower color.
Oh,
So,
okay. That's fun. That's
yeah.
fun. My mom is now getting into plants. She wasn't really into plants growing up, but she keeps telling me she keeps buying more and more plants. Every time she comes to visit me, she goes to a nursery near my house and buys more plants. And my
Does she
dad
go
has,
to Heartland Nursery out in Lee's
no.
Summit? Oh, she needs to go there.
Okay, well, I'll give her that recommendation because that's even closer to her house than where she's been going in Riverside. So, um, but yeah, she's decided that now she's a plant lady. And I guess my dad has mostly uh, told her to keep it to the living room. Did not fill the entire house. But the house that they live in now actually has like a little greenhouse attachment to it, so she could keep things all year round. So,
That made me think we had picked up plants and we picked up strawberry plants and Katie only needed, she kept what she needed. And I had an extra little section with 6 little plants in it. So I took them to Amy, the teacher I work with. Well, she wasn't ready to plant them, but they last year built a sunroom onto their house. And so she had just
mm.
set it in there. And she said she's been able to walk through there and eat a strawberry. It just started growing
Oh, that's
and
fun.
producing strawberries. So it was just
Oh,
cracking me up.
nice. That's
So
fun.
yeah. But
Right. Well, do you think we've had enough shenanigans for today?
yes, and we finally got past the cheese and rambled on about some other things too.
For sure. So all that's left to say, other than we're hungry, is bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.